Concord. Here we are. The big day is finally here. April 19th, 2025. We are celebrating the 250th anniversary of the start of the American Revolution. My name is Julie Manoogian, and you are watching Minuteman Media Network's live stream. Minuteman Media is the local cable TV station for the towns of Concord and Carlisle. And today we are partnering with Thistle Communications. We couldn't do it without them. This is a collaboration, and they're a wonderful production company that is helping us bring this live to you. So we are going to show you the parade today, and then we're going to show you the ceremonies at the Old North Bridge. All of the parade participants, you'll be seeing musicians and singers and dancers. We'll take you to the review stand where you'll hear all of the speeches. You'll see reenactments. You'll see maybe even some cannons going off. So it's going to be a wonderful day, and we're giving this to you live. So now, as we get ready, the parade starts at 8:30. As we get ready for the parade to start, let's show you how things are setting up here in Concord. We'll take you to Main Street now. And here's a live shot down Main Street. And the town has been decorated beautifully. There have been hundreds of Concord staff and volunteers who have been on the Concord 250 committee getting this special day ready for today. Folks have been working for a year or two. There is a long list of Concord staff and volunteers that have worked very hard to make this day an exciting day that celebrates our nation's history. The weather today is mild. The sun is not out right now, but we're happy for the mild temperatures. Again, you're watching Minuteman Media Network live on YouTube. I also want to mention that later tonight, we are also going to live stream the drone show, which is going to be happening at Concord Carlisle High School. Have you ever seen one of these drone shows? What it is it's about 300 drones that are going to be flown in the sky and choreographed in a way that they create shapes in the night sky, similar to fireworks. And we're excited for that. It's going to be a very patriotic theme with the drone show today. So the parade is going to start there on Thoreau. That's right around Emerson Park. Then it's going to go down Thoreau and turn right on Sudbury. And they will pass our beautiful Concord Free Public Library on the left. And on the right, they will pass the Umbrella Arts Center. Now, Minuteman Media also has a huge jumbotron in the parking lot between the library and the Umbrella Arts Center. So if you want to get down here, and you can get to that parking lot, we have a huge jumbotron, and then that'll be easy and make it convenient for you. You don't have to walk the rest of the way because our live stream is going to show you everything. So that's an open parking lot for you to come down and watch the show. As the parade continues, it will make a right on Main Street, which is the picturesque view we were just showing you. It'll go down Main Street. That's where we expect to have a lot of crowds. Then it'll continue down Main Street toward the flagpole where the town has just put a brand new, big, beautiful American flag. They just put it up this week, just for this occasion. So then in front of the flag, the parade is going to go left down Lowell Road, through Monument Square, head out Lowell Road, and then it's going to make a right on Liberty. And at that point, you're entering the Minuteman National Park. It'll go down Liberty, and then a lot of the reenactors and the Minutemen will cut through the National Park down a dirt path. The final destination will be the famous North Bridge, where the battles took place and the shot heard round the world. Ceremonies will take place at the North Bridge. We do expect Governor Maura Healey here. There'll be some reenactments and some 21 gun salutes. And then after that, the parade continues out onto Monument Street, turns right, travels up Monument Street, and returns back to Monument Square. And it'll go back to the townhouse, which we showed you a minute ago, where the review stand will be filled with a lot of guests. And we expect some of the parade units to stop and perform. And then the parade will continue towards the end of the road and make a right onto Haywood. And then our wonderful parade will come to a close. Immediately following the parade, please stay with us because we are going to be doing some live interviews. We have a student from Concord Carlisle High School, Gerald Tenenbaum, and he is going to be on camera interviewing some key folks in town who have put this beautiful day together, and we're going to speak with them after the parade and get to know them and find out how they were involved in planning the day. And now we're back on Main Street. The crowds are definitely getting bigger. So at Minuteman Media Network today, we have about 6 cameras spread out over a 3.5-mile parade route. And on cameras, we have Minuteman staff and volunteers, and we're very grateful for their help today. One of the cameras is going to be on a golf cart. Yes, very fancy. It's going to be on a golf cart, and that's going to ride along the parade, and we'll be getting some great footage from Bill and Sam, who are driving the golf cart and filming it. And speaking of the golf cart, there it is. You are looking at the start of the parade. Down on Thoreau Street. Everyone is mustering, as they call it. They muster, they gather. And I see we have the parade marshal and staff. That will be first. But I think before that, the very first thing we're going to see is our own John Arena, who is co-chair of the parade committee. And I believe he is going to call the start of the parade and get everybody walking. So with the Old North Bridge right now, we have Tori and Arcady. They're going to be live streaming that ceremony. Standing at the top of Main Street, we have Gerald on camera. And standing in front of the review stand, we have Charlie and Elliot. And that's their camera right there. So far, everything is peaceful and safe and very patriotic. I've seen a lot of people walking around wearing clothes with the American flag on them and hats with the flag on them. Our live feed is also being shared with other Boston media outlets, NBC, CBS, ABC.
Yeah, that course is a little spooked there. Wow, there's a bunch of them. Big ass one. It is big. Billy, you want to let these guys go
On the
and
move.
sneak in behind the next group?
Yeah, let me go to the corner though.
Okay.
What you're looking at now is the very beginning of the parade, led by the Concord Independent Battery. So the Concord Independent Battery began by the vote of town meeting in 1804. It is led by Captain Peter Mayette. I hope I said his name right. Today it is celebrating its 221st anniversary. Much of the battery is about the cannon, about tradition, and about patriotism. The battery is entrusted by the town of Concord with custody of the town's 2 historic 6-pound brass cannons.
Yeah, Billy, let him, we got a big gap here.
We're watching the parade march down Thoreau Street now. There's about 55 units in the parade, maybe even more. Lots of pedestrians, people have been excited. They've been waiting a long time for the parade to start. Folks, young, old, grandparents, kids, and everywhere in between. And there's the 6-pound brass cannons. The view you're watching now is from our golf cart. We have Sam riding backwards on the golf cart, giving you this beautiful view. Again, this is the Concord Independent Battery. They have custody of the town's 2 historic 6-pound brass cannons. Let's see who's coming up next in the parade.
All right. Hey, Billy, why don't you stop?
We have some golf carts.
Good morning. Good morning.
Hi, everybody.
How are we doing?
Again, the weather is so mild. People are in t-shirts and shorts.
Billy, we're just going to let this...
And last week it
we're gonna
snowed in
sit here for a
Concord,
minute.
Massachusetts.
Nothing happening. Gonna let that Porsche go, and then we'll sneak in front of these guys. Here we go.
And let's talk about what we're celebrating today. It's the 250th anniversary of the historic battles of Concord and Lexington. The Concord 250 Committee today is commemorating the semi-quincentennial. Can you say that? Can you spell that? It's the 250th anniversary of the American Revolution, which began here in New England. 250 years ago, the men and women of what is now Massachusetts secured their independence from Britain and created a new nation dedicated to the ideals of liberty, equality, natural and civil rights, and responsible citizenship. The Concord 250 honors our first 250 years and inspires Americans to imagine our next 250. We are all here, residents, friends, neighbors, visitors. We're all here to commemorate and celebrate this anniversary.
Let's go with these guys, Billy.
And now we're looking at the Middlesex County Volunteers Fife and Drum. Established in 1982, the Middlesex County Volunteers Fife and Drum Corps has evolved into an ensemble performing dance and folk music drawn from the 17th to the early 19th century. Ultimately, they're all about history and music, education and entertainment. The Middlesex County Volunteers Fife and Drum Corps.
Sneak up on these guys. Get up in front a little bit.
The good news is the sun is coming out. And if you're just joining us, my name is Julie Manoogian. I am the manager at Minuteman Media Network, and we are the local community TV station for the towns of Concord and Carlisle. And we are live streaming today for you with the help of Thistle Communications. Here's a beautiful shot down Main Street. And stay tuned to this live stream for the next few hours, and then hop on later tonight at 8:15. We're going to be showing you the drone show at Concord Carlisle High School.
Sorry. Let me get close.
Now here come
Now that's get back.
dignitaries.
There you go.
And down Main Street, we just had it. Maybe we can see it again. It's the 225 dignitaries, local, state, and military officials, and honored guests, many of whom will now take their places on our reviewing stand as they get there. Crowds are filling up, the sun is shining. Lots of Minutemen dressed in their reenactment costumes. Coming up next are the town officials and dignitaries. And I can see members of our select board.
Yep, slow down just a little bit.
Members of the 250th Executive Committee.
Nice. Hang here for a minute. We'll let these horses go.
Another shot down picturesque Main Street, Concord, Massachusetts. Celebrating the 250th anniversary of the start of the American Revolution, and the shot heard round the world. And here's the golf cart view. the Concord Minutemen. It was January 12, 1775, when the original Concord Minutemen signed the muster rolls, thus organizing one of the most famous militia units in American history. They led the march to Concord's North Bridge on April 19, 1775, and today are still a proud and active part of the Concord community. And now the parade has reached the top of Main Street and is taking a left onto Monument Square.
Here we go, let's follow these guys. Get up in front of them, put them up right here. Right there. Put them out where my knee is, at that first guy. Right in there, nice. A little more, a little more. Right in there. Yeah, let these guys go now.
The last large celebration was the Concord 200th, and that was in 1975, where we had a visit from President Gerald Ford. Some of these folks have been marching in the parade as Minutemen and have been reenactors, some of them for 30, 40 years. Dedicated. In uniform and historically accurate. Wow, look how packed Concord Center is now. You're looking at the corner of Main Street and Walden Street. We have so many visitors from out of town. All the local hotels nearby are booked up. I met somebody earlier coming from England who's here visiting from England. In the center of your screen, I see Simon Cataldo, Mike Barrett, our local politicians, and state reps and congressmen. The Daughters of the American Revolution. Let's talk about them. The Daughters of the American Revolution are direct descendants of the patriots of the American Revolution. Some of their ancestors participated in the actual events of April 19th, 1775. DAR, Daughters of the Revolution. What a beautiful view, turning up, making a left on Monument Square.
So I'm not sure if we'll be able to get to the front again, but we can try. Okay. Let's see if we can get up front again. I don't know if we're a shortcut or whatever.
And I want to take a minute to thank Bissell Communications again. We at Minuteman Media could not do this without their help. Thank you, Chaz. Chaz just fixed my monitor for me. Look at this stunning view. The sun has come out. All I see is a sea of colors and patriotism. American flags everywhere. Reenactors. Proud patriots. Respecting the history, celebrating the history, and never forgetting it.
If you can,
there's the trolley.
Take the shot, though. Yep.
We had worked with kind of guesstimating how many people we thought we were going to get. Some folks said it'd be 100,000, but these crowds are growing and growing. What a beautiful day to celebrate our nation's history. The Massachusetts Society Children of the American Revolution. Now, they were founded in 1895. They are the oldest patriotic youth organization in our country. And they're crossing over Walden Street right now. Two days ago, we had a special visitor in Concord. It is the award-winning documentary filmmaker Ken Burns, and he was here celebrating and promoting his recent documentary, which is all about the American Revolution. And he came to Concord Carlisle High School. He spoke, and he screened about 40 minutes of his upcoming film, which will be seen on PBS, and that premieres November 16th, 2025. But of course, Ken Burns is a serious historian and has a great team with him. His production company is called Florentine Films. And a small part of the documentary we saw was fantastic. Absolutely historically accurate. So look out for that. These kids, they're in the right spot. They're getting pushed all day. They don't need to walk. In the background is Holy Family Parish. That's actually where I'm speaking to you from right now. Then the townhouse.
How are you?
And happy people.
Good job.
I see Operation Delta Dog, service dogs for veterans. Crowds are just getting larger. There's the Concord trolley. And that is a very fun thing to do as a visitor of Concord.
All right. Catch up if you can, bro.
The Concord Visitor Center, which is located on Main Street, is your destination. They have tours and all the information you would want to know about the key visitor sites in town, like the Louisa May Alcott House.
Nice. Good job, buddy.
Oh, there's the trolley. You see Newbury Court there. Those are residents who live in Newbury Court.
Oh, that was a good one.
Which is an assisted living community in Concord. We have the Acton Minutemen, the Stowe Minutemen, all these dedicated folks reliving history. I just love all of their costumes. I see we have Sudbury coming. And now the parade is walking down Liberty Street. And eventually the parade will end up at the Minuteman National Park and the Old North Bridge. and about 2,000 participants in this parade. Great, now we have a little more of a close-up. You can take a better look at who's coming up Main Street, and again, that's our beautiful library in the background.
I'll get ready to spin. Yep. Right here. Yep. Right there. Let him come up.
Coming up, I see the Hanscom Air Force Base. And I see the Girl Scouts coming. I also see the Fen School. Now here's a beautiful shot. There he is. Now we have an even closer look at the parade coming up Main Street. I want to again thank Thistle Communications because the cameras that we are using belong to them, and they are just fantastic.
A little closer. Right there. Nice. Right there. Get out of here. Get out of here. Yeah, we're within sight. We're about 3 to 4 clusters back. We can get up to the front here and go on.
And this next group is from Colonial Williamsburg. And here come the Patriots on stilts. They're always fun to watch every year in the parade. How they tower over everybody. That's not easy to walk on those stilts. There goes the Hanscom Air Force Base again.
Yeah, watch out for that one. Yeah, get up right behind that one.
And we want to thank Public Safety and the DPW, Concord Public Works, for making this day safe and organized
Cool.
on the streets.
Real close. Like right up, I'm gonna get right on their face.
Now hiring the U.S. Air Force. Here comes the Fen School Band. And Fen is a private boys' school in Concord.
A little more, Billy. A little more.
They're gonna jump on the back in a minute.
Yeah, keep going, keep going. Give me some more space. Here we go. Right there. Hold right there.
We have been waiting for this day here in Concord. We've been preparing for over a year.
Right here.
And here's a little interesting fact. Paul Revere's lantern, the lantern that was hung in the North Church as a signal of the ride of Paul Revere's famous midnight ride That exact lantern, authentic lantern, is right here in Concord at the Concord Museum.
Hold on
So
right
when
there.
you get a
Go
chance
down a
to
little
do
more
some
if you can.
visiting here, go to the Concord Museum
Yeah,
and
let
you
it
will
go- let this
see
group
that
go through.
original lantern from 1775 that was hung in the North Church. Now we are on Liberty Road. No, we're on Lowell Road. And again, we have the town officials and dignitaries. Now I see the U.S. Army Corps and engineers. There's one of the stilt walkers. After this parade, as I said, we're going to be doing interviews. And then after that, there is going to be the Concord 250th Block Party. And there is going to be a variety of events at a variety of locations all around town. Musicians and performers. So after the parade, please stay. Enjoy the festivities. Support our local businesses. Our local restaurants are ready to feed you a nice hearty lunch. This is a shot of Monument Square. Here comes the United States Naval Academy Drum and Bugle Corps from Annapolis, Maryland. Look at the Navy. Look at those instruments. Let's take a listen. We're so honored that the U.S. Naval Academy Drum and Bugle Corps has returned to join our parade. Flashing swords, brass buttons, and drum rolls of a spring parade are just some of the many traditions that have marked 180 years at the U.S. Naval Academy in Annapolis. And coming up next, I see our local Concord Carlisle High School. Concord Carlisle High School Band and Cheerleaders. And speaking of Concord Carlisle High School, that is exactly where Minuteman Media is located. And if you're just tuning in, this is Julie Manukian with Minuteman Media Network. We are the local community TV station for the town of Concord and Carlisle. And we are so happy to be bringing you this live stream today. I want to take a minute and thank Matt, who is our director. He's in the truck right now. I want to thank all of our crew and volunteers. In this parade, we have a lot of vehicles, a lot of walkers, a lot of musicians, a few floats. Here comes the Great American Marching Band. They are a military veteran organization consisting of professional musicians who served or still serve in a musical capacity. The Great American Marching Band has been performing throughout New England. They have entertained crowds with patriot music and numerous events and ceremonies. Lots of great music today. And here comes a float. I see the Concord Rotary Club in the distance. The Concord Rotary Club. Having served the community for decades, this vibrant group of people actively seek to better the world through humanitarian service. They are local business owners and civic-minded citizens who work together to support our community and people in need around the world. Oh, and here is the lantern. This is the replica of the lantern that was in the Old North Church on April 1775. That's the lantern that was hung in the Old North Church. And again, we're looking at the Rotary. The Rotary has served the community for decades. This vibrant group of people actively seek to better the world through humanitarian service. They are local business owners and civic-minded citizens who work together to support our community and people in need around the world. That famous Rotary logo, the bright yellow. Coming up, I see the veterans of foreign wars. We have a lot more parade to go, folks. And now what you're seeing is the very beginning of the parade marchers, they have on Liberty Road, and they have now entered on that dirt path there. They have now entered into the Minuteman National Park, the national park. And the national park is where we have the Old North Bridge, the battle, the monuments, and the shot heard round the world. So the second leg of our parade coverage will be the ceremonies that are going to be happening shortly at the Old North Bridge. And I just love all these reenactors in their costumes. This town is dedicated to preserving history, respecting history, and retelling it. The veterans of foreign wars. And here they come. This is the one we've been waiting for. The University of Massachusetts Minuteman Marching Band. This is their first appearance in the Concord Patriots Day Parade. So I hope we all give them a warm welcome to the largest collegiate marching band in all of New England. And we're seeing reenactors walk off of Liberty Road and enter the Minuteman National Park. A sacred park with the history that we are celebrating today. 250th anniversary of the start of the American Revolution in Lexington and Concord. And shortly, a ceremony will begin at the Old North Bridge. But in the meantime, we have a lot more parade. Let's see UMass Minuteman Marching Band. Here they come. Let's talk about them for a minute now. Look at them. Look at all these. We're told there's 1,400 people in this unit. So as I said, this is their first appearance in Concord's Patriots Day Parade, and we give them a warm welcome. They are the largest collegiate marching band in all of New England, recognized as the power and class of one of the nation's top band programs. UMass Amherst bills itself as the Commonwealth's flagship campus. Being the band of that flagship campus, they are the Commonwealth's band. UMass Amherst. I just love their uniforms and their hats and the big brass tubas in the back. Let's take a listen to their performance. I'm sorry, I have a correction here. It's 400 band members. I think I actually said 1,400. It is 400 band members from the University of Massachusetts in Amherst. And there they go down Monument Street. And everybody is walking towards the Old North Bridge now. And there is going to be a fantastic ceremony for you shortly at the Old North Bridge. We're going to have reenactments, battles, cannons, muskets, speeches, and a military flyover in the sky. Look at this breathtaking view of the Minutemen slowly approaching and reenacting the American Revolution from April 19th, 1775. A beautiful shot here in Minuteman National Park. On the left side there, you see some wreaths. We're going to be doing a wreath laying ceremony also. Marching over the Old North Bridge. And again, we have our town officials and dignitaries. I see members of the Concord Select Board. The North Bridge, also called the Old North Bridge, is the most historic site in Concord, Massachusetts. And the bridge goes over the Concord River. And it was on this day, April 19th, 1775, the first day of the American Revolutionary War. Minutemen and militia companies, numbering approximately 400, engaged roughly 90 British Army troops at this location. The battle was the first instance in which American forces advanced in formation on the British regulars, inflicted casualties, and routed their opponents. It was a pivotal moment in the battles of Lexington and Concord and in American history. The significance of this historic event at the North Bridge inspired Ralph Waldo Emerson to refer to the moment as, quote, the shot heard round the world. This is our live stream of the 250th anniversary of the start of the American Revolution in Concord, Massachusetts. I see Governor Maura Healey has arrived. And Lori Trahan. I believe I just saw the Middlesex County Sheriff Peter Katujian. And there's Governor Healey. In the back, I see Gary Clayton and Rob Monroe. Those are the two co-executive chairs of this entire event. Those two gentlemen right there. As I said, there was a lot of talk, a lot of rumors leading up to this event as whether we would get a POTUS visit, because in 1975, then President Gerald Ford did come to Concord, and he spoke right here at the North Bridge. And today we're very happy to welcome our Massachusetts Governor Maura Healey. And here they come. So at the North Bridge, we're going to have a wreath-laying ceremony, and that's held to commemorate the engagement between the Minuteman companies and the British troops at the North Bridge.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I think I can sit down now. On behalf of the citizens of Concord and the Concord 250 Executive Committee, welcome to the Old Bridge ceremony commemorating the 250th anniversary of the Battle of Concord. And thank you for joining us as we solemnly honor the memory of our forebears who bravely stood their ground at this hallowed site and fired what Ralph Waldo Emerson so eloquently phrased as the shot heard round the world. My name is Gary Clayton. I am co-chair of the Concord 250 Executive Committee, and I'm joined today by my fellow co-chair, Dr. Robert Monroe.
Thank you, Gary. Our presence here and the purpose of this ceremony is to recognize and pay tribute to the dedication and sacrifice of all those who fought for independence on April 19th, 1775. The establishment of a new nation and the values and aspirations embedded in our Constitution to preserve, protect, and expand the principles of self-governance, equality, and liberty for all people. At this time, I ask that you please rise for the invocation offered by W. Grant Pierce, a member of the Baha'i Local Spiritual Assembly, and remain standing for the playing of our national anthem by the Middlesex County Volunteers. These colors are presented this morning by the 54th Massachusetts Volunteer Infantry Regiment Select Honor Guard. According to our traditions, we respectfully request that those not in uniform please remove any hats and place your right hand over your hearts during the national anthem as the music is played.
Just over a century ago, Abdu'l-Baha, son of Baha'u'llah, founder of the Baha'i faith, walked upon this land. He saw in America a radiant promise and revealed this prayer for America. O thou kind Lord, this gathering is turning to thee. These hearts are radiant with thy love. These minds and spirits are exhilarated by the message of thy glad tidings. O God, let this American democracy become glorious in spiritual degrees, even as it aspired in material degrees, and render this just government victorious. Confirm this revered nation to upraise the standard of the oneness of humanity, to promulgate the most great peace, to become thereby the most glorious and praiseworthy among all the nations of the world. O God, this nation is worthy of thy favors and is deserving of thy mercy. Make it precious and near to thee through thy bounty and bestowal. Amen.
Thank you, Grant, and the Middlesex County Volunteers. Also joining us as a co-host of this morning's ceremony and representing the National Park Service is Superintendent Simone Monteleone, the Superintendent of the Minuteman National Park. Simone.
Good morning. It is my privilege to welcome you to Minuteman National Historical Park to commemorate the 250th anniversary of the Battle of Lexington and Concord and the opening of the American Revolution. This historic day marks not just a pivotal event in our nation's history, but an honoring of the spirit of liberty, courage, and determination that defines us as Americans. On April 19th of 1775, the clash of arms at Lexington and Concord and along the Battle Road signaled the dawn of a new era. It was in these fields that ordinary men stood resolutely, fueled by their commitment to the ideals of freedom, to face insurmountable odds. Their bravery ignited the flame of revolution and inspired a gathering of 13 colonies to rise in pursuit of independence from tyranny. As we reflect on those early morning hours, let us remember the courageous individuals who answered the call to defend their rights and their homes. These Minutemen and militia members, with their unmatched resolve, became symbols of resistance and self-sacrifice. Their actions that day forged a path toward liberty that would resonate for generations to come. Throughout this day, you'll witness various events in town, including tactical demonstrations and living history programming here at Minuteman National Historical Park that will pay tribute to our past and immerse you in the rich tapestry of our shared history as Americans. I encourage you to engage, ask questions, and reflect on the lessons we've learned from the past. As we commemorate this historic milestone, let us also recognize the enduring legacy of the ideals that guided those early patriots. The principles of liberty and freedom in America continue to inspire us today, reminding us that this work is never done and is work that us, as citizens of this great nation, we must continue. The National Park Service is honored, along with our partners, to preserve and protect these sacred places and hallowed ground. Together, we honor those sacrifices of who came before us by continuing to defend and uphold the values that we fought so dearly to secure, and protect the very places where it happened for this and future generations. Thank you.
Thank you, Superintendent Monteleone. And I will add that the National Park Service has been a wonderful partner with us as part of the planning and actions regarding the Concord 250th celebrations. We are very fortunate today to have a number of distinguished visitors with us, and I want to mention their names. They are an important part of this ceremony. That includes U.S. Navy Captain Thomas Kelly. He's the 2025 Parade Marshal for this Patriots Day Parade in Concord. Captain Kelly is a recipient of the Medal of Honor. Here on the podium, Maura Healey, Governor of the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. Lori Trahan, member of the United States House of Representatives. Kim Driscoll, Lieutenant Governor of the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. Mary Hartman, Chair of the Concord Select Board. Seiichiro Takahashi, Consul General of Japan in Boston. Mr. David Clay, British Consul General to New England. I also want to acknowledge two women who are with us today. Robin Abbott, who's president of the American Gold Star Mothers of Massachusetts and Rhode Island. And Peggy Griffin, also president of the Greater Boston chapter of the New England region, chair, National Board Directors of the Gold Star Wives of America. Special welcome to both of you. I also want to acknowledge a number of our state legislative representatives who are here. State Senator Michael Barrett, State Representative Carmine Gentile, and State Representative Simon Cataldo. And I know there are other local elected officials of Concord and nearby communities participating in this this day of celebration, and we want to acknowledge and thank you for your service. I also want to welcome all the active duty members of the United States Armed Services and veterans who are present today. We wish to especially acknowledge the U.S. Army that maintains just over 30 units throughout the entire country with Revolutionary War lineage and honors. Among those, Massachusetts has the most of any state, including the only 4 units to display the Lexington campaign streamer for direct participation in the battles of Lexington and Concord on April 19, 1775. Those 4 units are represented here today by their commanding officers and colors. And in addition, there are 4 other U.S. Army units here today that together represent all the original Massachusetts militia organizations still serving today with Revolutionary War campaign credit.
It is now my honor to invite to the podium for her remarks the first of our 2 speakers, Representative Lori Trahan, who represents the Commonwealth's 3rd Congressional District in the U.S. House of Representatives.
Good morning. 250 years ago, right here at the Old North Bridge, ordinary people faced an extraordinary choice: monarchy or democracy. They could remain subjects of a distant crown or risk everything for the idea of self-government. They chose freedom. Farmers and blacksmiths, shopkeepers and ministers, teachers and mothers, everyday citizens who had no guarantee of success stood their ground. And when the smoke cleared on that April morning, the first shots of a revolution had been fired. What began here in Concord became the shot heard round the world. It was more than the start of a war. It was the beginning of an idea that liberty is worth defending, that government derives its just powers from the consent of the governed, that even the smallest towns and the smallest colonies could stir the conscience of the world. But it was never inevitable. The men and women who gathered here were not professional soldiers or political elites. They were neighbors and parents, workers and worshipers, people with families to protect, farms to tend, and lives to live. And yet, when the moment came, they answered history's call. Today, as we mark the 250th anniversary of that defining moment, we gather not just to honor their courage, but to reckon with the responsibility they left us. Because we are the stewards now. Every generation inherits the promise made here in Concord, and every generation must choose what echoes we will send forward. Will we echo courage or complacency? Unity or division? Will we, like those early patriots, rise together to meet the challenges of our time? Even our founders knew that the greatest threat to this fragile experiment wouldn't come from abroad. It would come from within. In fact, when George Washington agreed to attend the Constitutional Convention in 1787, he explained why in a letter to a friend. He warned of some aspiring demagogue who will not consult the interest of his country so much as his own ambitious views. Washington wasn't worried about the jeweled crowns of foreign kings. He was worried about the domestic ones, those who drape themselves in flags while declaring themselves above the Constitution. That remains our charge today, to ensure that in America, no one, no matter how loud, how wealthy, or how powerful, stands above the law. Because in a democracy, the law, not a single man is sovereign. Our union is still imperfect, our freedoms still tested. But the story of America has always been one of progress, not because the path was easy, but because courage found its way into common hands. In every generation, there have been bridges like this one in Concord, like the Edmund Pettus Bridge in Selma, where brave Americans marched for civil rights and faced down brutality in the name of justice. Moments that demand to know who we are and what we stand for. So let us meet our moment today. Let us be citizens worthy of this history and ancestors worthy of remembrance. And let us ensure that 250 years from now, when future generations gather at this bridge, they won't just hear the echo of that first shot. They'll hear the echo of our voices rising to say, we carried the promise of a stronger America forward. Thank you. Now it is my great honor to introduce someone who carries that promise with purpose and pride every single day. She is a trailblazer, a dedicated public servant, and a tireless champion for the people of Massachusetts. Please join me in welcoming the governor of our great Commonwealth, Maura Healey.
Thank you, Congresswoman Trahan. Wow, what an amazing, amazing crowd here today, and I'm not the least bit surprised. To members of the Concord Select Board and Concord 250, to Gary, Clayton, and Rob Monroe, all of our state legislators, Senator Barrett, Rep. Cataldo, Rep. Gentile, Sheriff Katusian. We have many in the military here today. I want to thank in particular General Keefe, our National Guard Adjutant General, as well as generals who've joined us, General Johnson, General Brito, General Dunn, service members, veterans, military families, including our Gold Star wives and mothers, our Medal of Honor recipient, John McLuhan, our Superintendent, Monteleone, and all of the members of the National Park Service who work so hard every single day. Our allies and friends, Consul General David Clay, our friends from England and Japan, and all of the people of Massachusetts, of America, and the world who have gathered here today to mark this seminal event in world history. 250 years ago, on this site, at about this time in the morning, farmers, merchants, tradesmen of Concord and nearby towns faced the mighty army of an empire. They stood up for the right to govern themselves, and they stepped forward to protect their community. Here across the North Bridge, they were fired upon. They returned fire with what Ralph Waldo Emerson described as the shot heard round the world. And they began a revolution that gave us our nation. The courage of ordinary people who fought here is awe-inspiring. But there was more than individual bravery on display. There was collective determination, a unity of purpose and will, and a deep, widely shared belief in the cause of liberty. Two riders set out from Boston, Paul Revere and William Dawes, to raise the alarm. When the Redcoats got to Lexington, they were met by 75 militia members. When they got to Concord, 400 men had mustered. By the time they finished their retreat to Boston, 4,000 had attacked their lines. In the following days, 20,000 gathered to begin the siege of Boston, fight the Battle of Bunker Hill, and eventually win the war for independence. They came from across our state, from New Hampshire, Connecticut as well. Members of the Stockbridge-Munsee Band of Mohegans walked 137 miles, nearly the length of Massachusetts, to join the Continental troops in Cambridge. Black and indigenous soldiers fought for a freedom they would long be denied. Women were vital as spies and strategists. Everyone played their part. I think of the 71-year-old widow, Martha Moulton of Concord, who took a revolutionary stand. You know, that morning as the British troops burned the militia's supplies, Martha Moulton watched as the fire spread to the town meeting house. She was undaunted, this 71-year-old widow, and went right up to the British troops, confronted them, and convinced them to form a bucket brigade and put out the fire they had started. In the end, the commitment was absolute, and Massachusetts rose up together as one, and a new nation forged in defense of freedom saw itself take shape. In Massachusetts, we take deep pride in the role our state and people have played in America's great journey. The spirit that burned bright right here in Concord never faded. At every moment, we've answered the call for liberty and advanced the cause of freedom, leading the abolitionist movement to resist and end slavery, leading the movement for women's suffrage, first in education, first in healthcare, first in civil rights and equality under the law. That's who we are, Massachusetts. John Hancock, Sam Adams, the first and fourth governors of our state, were present in Lexington on the night these events began. They might be surprised to see a woman standing here as the 73rd governor and a woman representing us in Congress. But maybe not, because they had the conviction to put freedom at the heart of their endeavor. And freedom is a force that once kindled can never be denied. In Massachusetts, we have always lit the beacon. We've always answered the alarm. We have always stood our ground, and we always will. That is the legacy of this hallowed place. This is who we are. And now is the time to honor and fulfill that legacy. We live in a moment when our freedoms are once again under attack, including from the highest office in the land. We see things that would be familiar to our revolutionary predecessors: the silencing of critics, the disappearing of people from our streets, demands for unquestioning fealty. Due process is a foundational right. If it can be discarded for one, it can be lost for all. The right to speak freely without fear of punishment is the essence of liberty. A free press and an independent court are the lifeblood of a healthy democracy. These are the freedoms that America was built on. These are the freedoms that make America great. These are the rights that the people in Massachusetts exercise when they use their talents to cure diseases, to heal the environment, to build businesses, to improve the human life and condition. They were won. They were fought for by brave men and women who stood on this very ground 250 years ago today, who put their lives on the line here at the North Bridge and on the Green in Lexington. They were protected by brave service members and advanced by courageous men and women throughout our history, and they are ours to defend now. We must take a warning from John Adams, who said, "Liberty once lost is lost forever." And we must take courage from Coretta Scott King, who said, "Freedom is never really won. You earn it and win it in every generation." This is our generation's time. Standing here in this place at this moment, we must commit ourselves to defending it. That's what I will do, and I encourage everyone who knows our history and values our freedom to do the same. Stay engaged, stand up, speak out, as the people of Massachusetts did 250 years ago. Together, we will protect the freedoms that were won here, and we will not be intimidated. In Massachusetts, we will be the champions of freedom once more. Not just because it's rooted in our past, part of our DNA, but because it's alive in our hearts, and it is our hope for our future. It's what we owe to those who came before us here in Concord, and it's what we owe to generations of Americans to come. God bless you, God bless Massachusetts, and God bless the great United States of America.
Thank you, Governor. The wreath-laying ceremony is a formal remembrance to honor the sacrifices of those who unselfishly offered the last full measure of devotion in the service of our country. This morning, we gather to remember those Minutemen who answered the Commonwealth's call to arms at this very location 250 years ago today. We also acknowledge the United Kingdom as one of our closest allies in the modern era and pay tribute to the dedicated service of those British soldiers who fell in action and are interred here. Two wreaths will be placed this morning. The first by Governor Healy and Major General Keefe at the base of the Minuteman statue. The second wreath will be placed at the grave of the British soldiers by Mr. David Clay, British Consul General to New England. He will be accompanied by Major Douglas Edwards and Peter Richardson of the British Officers Club of New England. Immediately following this wreath-laying ceremony, the Concord and Acton Minutemen will fire a musket volley salute from the North Bridge. The Concord Independent Battery. Oh, that's fine. The Concord Independent Battery in the U.S. Army 101st Field Artillery Regiment will now fire a 21-gun national salute to the United States of America. This will be immediately followed in sequence by the 54th Massachusetts playing taps, a moment of silence, and an F-15 and KC-46 flyover performed by the Massachusetts National Guard's 104th Fighter Wing, accompanied by the New Hampshire National Guard's 157th Air Refueling Wing. Ladies and gentlemen, please remain standing for the benediction by W. Grant Pierce.
O thou loving and merciful Lord, we gather in gratitude upon this sacred ground where brethren once stood opposed, not as eternal enemies, but as children of one humanity, drawn into the trials of history in pursuit of freedom. From that moment of sacrifice, a new nation was born, and over time, former foes became steadfast and friends, joined in the cause of peace and mutual understanding. O Lord, let this be a sign for this day, that from division may rise unity, and from struggle, the promise of harmony. Bless this gathering and this land. Strengthen the bonds of fellowship. Guide its leaders with justice and mercy, and awaken in every heart the will to serve humanity. Thou verily art the unifier, the ever-forgiving, the light of the world. Amen.
My fellow Americans, this concludes the Old North Bridge ceremony. On behalf of the citizens of Concord and the Concord 250 Executive Committee, Rob and I thank you very much for attending in person and virtually. The parade will now resume under the direction of the parade marshal and the Concord 250 Executive Committee. We ask all spectators to please allow the parade to pass without obstruction up the path to Monument Street as it returns to Concord Center and past the reviewing stand in Monument Square. Please enjoy our full day of planned festivities in remembrance of the 250th anniversary of this historic Battle of Concord. Thank you.
And that concludes the ceremony. But we still have more parade. Next step, in this third leg now of the parade, all of the parade marchers will go back onto Monument Street, make a right, and end up back at Monument Square.
Oh, yeah, yeah. My job as a PR guy is not to stand in the way of the camera. Yeah, yeah. Again, I'm Brian. Raphael. Great. So you guys got your passes for me, so I Great. Thank you. You too. Thank you.
And that was our commemoration of the shot heard around the world. Meantime, back in Concord Center, you're taking a look at
Starting to warm
Monument
up
Square
now, man.
and
The warm
Main
air's
Street.
coming in here now.
And there's the townhouse on the right that I was explaining earlier is an important building to the town of Concord. That's our town hall. That's where all of our town meetings and elections take place.
Are you still doing practice?
And now we're just waiting for the parade to continue. And for those of you just tuning in, my name is Julie Manugian, and I am the manager at Minuteman Media Network, and you are watching our live stream today of the Concord 250th, which is the 250th anniversary of the start of the American Revolution right here in Concord. Minuteman Media Network is collaborating with Thistle Communications, and they are helping us provide you with this excellent video and audio today. This live stream is going to continue until the end of the parade, and then we're going to have some live interviews at the reviewing stand. And now we are looking at Monument Square. In the background there you see the Colonial Inn. And this is the center and the heart of downtown Concord. We want to thank all of the Minuteman Media crew and volunteers for filming today. We have Gerald on the triangle. We have Charlie and Elliot at the review stand. Tori and Arcady at the bridge. And Craig on Main Street. And I'm Julie, and I'm at the production truck. And now the parade is exiting Minuteman National Park. And we still have a lot more parade to go, folks. Stay with us. But we are more than halfway there. You can see on screen here is a lot of other media here as well. A lot of the local Boston TV stations are here, and we've been collaborating and working with them and sharing our footage with them. And we are going to continue this live stream until the parade ends. Then we're going to have some live interviews. And let's watch them progress. There's our Massachusetts Minutemen.
Now coming across the bridge is the Massachusetts Society of Sons of the American Revolution.
All of these reenactors that you see today, dressed in the historical
The Connecticut
costumes.
Society line of the Sons of the American Revolution.
They're all volunteers, the reenactors.
Now coming across the bridge were the daughters of the American Revolution and the children of the American Revolution.
And after this parade, we're going to have a block party in Concord Center until about 5 o'clock. There's going to be a variety of fun events at different locations all throughout Concord Center. There'll be musicians, performers, some acting and performing arts. And the Wright Tavern is hosting a beer garden. That's right in Concord Center. And now from Main Street, we're watching the parade goers all returning back into the center of town. There's probably about 500 flags waving in Concord today. So while we're waiting for the parade to continue and come back into town, let's talk about the block party because that's happening next. I can tell you a few highlights. Right in Monument Square, there's a bandstand. There'll be speeches and singing there. The Concord Scout House, there'll be dancing. At 51 Walden Performing Arts, they're going to be putting on a show with local middle schoolers called Scenes from the Revolution. The Masonic Lodge and Wright Tavern, there will be singers and a choir. At Caldwell Banker, more fabulous musicians playing music from the times of 1775. The Concord Scout House is going to be hosting the Daughters of the American Revolution. And later this evening at the Concord Museum, there is going to be a free forum with Doris Kearns Goodwin on the American Revolution and its legacy. Outside of the Concord Museum will be a concert with the Goodwin Band. And then the final event of the day is the drone show at Concord Carlisle High School. And we will be live streaming that for you. That starts at 8:15. And if you've never seen a drone show, you're wondering, what's a drone show? Well, they're getting very popular lately. A drone show kind of replaces fireworks. So it's about 300 drones.
Following the children of the American Revolution are the Lincoln Minutemen.
So the drone show is about 300 drones flying in the air and choreographed in such a way, their flight pattern is choreographed in such a way that they can make shapes in the night sky. And I've seen a little bit of this show already. For example,
Following the Lincoln Minutemen are the military.
You see my, you see?
for example, all the drones can make the formation of the American flag or of a Minuteman, and then there's patriotic music that goes along with it. And it's a warm day and going to be a warm night to come out to the high school and watch the drone show in person, or be comfortable at home and watch the Minuteman Media live stream on YouTube.
Come the cops.
Now we're looking at Monument Street as the parade is exiting out of the National Park. And you'll notice this says Lowell Police. That's because we have help from so many of the local towns from a public safety standpoint. Many of our neighboring towns have chipped in to help us today. Now, in the background, you'll see a historic home. That's called the Old Manse. And there's John Arena running across the screen. He is the co-chair or the chair of the parade committee. He's been working very hard, John Arena. And he is making life easy for all of the media folks because he's offered his funeral home as a respite for all of us working in media. He turned it into a media lounge for us. So everybody working in TV and radio, he's providing us with food and drink and coffee. And we appreciate John and all the hard work he's done with the parade committee. But besides John, there are so many Concord staff and volunteers that have made today possible. As a town, we've come together. We've been working really hard for a year or two, endless meetings, and every department in town has been involved. And I personally have just loved collaborating with all of them. It's been a strong group effort to put this weekend together. And what I love is we didn't hire any outside agencies to help us. We are all doing it. Concord staff, residents, volunteers. And it's a great celebration of our community and our history. And the crowds are starting to fill up now. In the background, you see the Colonial Inn, the historic Colonial Inn. They say it's haunted. There are ghosts there. But there's a lot of history with that yellow building. They used that building during the American Revolution. Not as a hotel. And now we're looking at footage from our golf cart camera. We want to thank Bill and Sam from Thistle Communications. We could not have asked for a better weather day. Last week it was raining and snowing in Concord. Temperatures were cold. But this weekend, Mother Nature was good to us. And the sun is shining, people are wearing shorts. That's pretty good
The
for
active
Boston in
Minutemen
April
are followed
19th.
by the Boxborough Minutemen.
The temperature in Concord right now is 73, but it's going to go up to 82. And now what you're looking at, those white chairs, that's the review stands in front of the Concord Townhouse. And that'll be the final leg of this parade. Those chairs will be filled with our special guests today, including Governor Maura Healey, the Select Board.
Crossing the bridge are the Carlisle Minutemen.
And there will be some speeches and performances here shortly.
Followed by the Stowe Minutemen. Westford Minutemen. On the bridge are the Sudbury Companies of Militia and Minutemen.
So what you're hearing is the announcer in the background who's still over at the bridge. So the walk from the National Park back to the center of town is about a half a mile. And there's our 250th Planning Committee. All those wonderful people I see were all critical in putting this event together today. You know, every year Concord does have a Patriots Day parade. There's no doubt about that. But this year is extra special. And now you are looking at Concord's
Massacre
honored
Village
citizen.
Minutemen.
Honored citizen, Sandy Smith. Sandy Smith is a fourth-generation Concordian. Sandy has been a role model of service to the town and local organizations for decades. Following in his ancestors' footsteps and giving back to the town, Sandy's depth of community service and worthy character traits have earned him the recognition of Concord's 2025 Honored Citizen.
Glover's Marblehead Regiment. Middlesex County 4-H Fife and Drum Corps. Followed by the 182nd Infantry. Following the infantry is Louisa May Alcott's Orchard House.
And now we're back at the North Bridge.
Crossing the bridge is Hanscom Air Force Base, followed by the Fenn School Marching Band.
Let's go with them. Yep, put them right here.
Good morning, and welcome to the 2025 Patriots Day Parade.
Now
Concord Independent Battery, led by Captain Peter Mayette. The Concord Independent Battery began by the vote of town meeting in 1804. Today, it is celebrating its 221st anniversary. Much of the battery is about the cannon, about tradition, and about patriotism. The battery is entrusted by the town of Concord with custody of the town's 2 historic 6-pound bass cannons. I have one thing. How do you say?
the voice you're hearing in the background is Nancy. She is the MC on site at the review stand, and we're going to let her take it from here as she announces all the units. But we'll be back.
Coming up next is the Bedford Cornet. This flag is the oldest existing flag in the United States and the second oldest in the Western Hemisphere. Concord gratefully grants the privilege of leading the Patriots Day Parade to the Bedford Cornet. Next, we have the Middlesex County Volunteers Fife and Drum Corps. Established in 1982, the MCV has evolved into a repertory ensemble performing dance and folk music, drawn from the 17th to the 19th century. Ultimately, it is about history and music, education and entertainment. Please welcome the 2025 dignitaries, local, state, and military officials, and honored guests, many of whom now take their place on our reviewing stand. Coming next is our honored citizen, Lowell Sandy Smith. He is a 4th-generation Concordian. Sandy has been a role model of service to the town and local organizations for decades. Following in the ancestors' footsteps is giving back to the town Sandy's depth of community service and worthy character traits have earned him the recognition of Concord's 2025 Honored Citizen. Next, we have the Concord Minutemen. It was January 12th, 1775, when the original Concord Minutemen signed the muster rolls, thus organizing one of the most famous militia units in American history. They led the march to Concord's North Bridge on April 19th, 1775. And today they are still a proud and active part of the Concord community. Thank you. Thank you to the Concord Minutemen. Coming up now is the Massachusetts Society of Sons of the American Revolution. The Sons of the American Revolution are patriotic persons who are descended from patriots who fought in the American Revolution. The mission of the SAR is to promote patriotism, preserve American history, and educate future generations about the founding principles of the United States. The Connecticut Line. The Connecticut Line is a living history of the Connecticut Society of the Sons of the American Revolution, and its mission is to honor our patriot ancestors, promote patriotism, and educate and inspire future generations by representing those militia soldiers who served on April 19th, 1775. Coming up next are the Old Concord chapter, the Daughters of the American Revolution. They are direct descendants of the patriots of the American Revolution, and some of their ancestors participated in the events of April 19, 1775. Next coming are the Children of the American Revolution. They were founded in 1895, and they are the oldest patriotic youth organization in our country. Next, we have the Ancient and Honorary Artillery coming by. Next, we have Concord's honored veterans right in front of us. Coming up next is the Military Family Support Group. This group offers support and education for families and friends new to the military experience and during all phases of deployment. They also provide networking to ease the transition from soldier to veteran and community outreach to enhance the understanding of the military family experience. Marching with the group are local Concord veterans who serve in the defense of our nation. Thank you so much to our veterans. Newbury Court, New England Deaconess, is a 135-year-old nonprofit and has been in Concord at its current location for 110 years. Newbury Court is a continuing care retirement community. The Lincoln Minutemen, under the direction and leadership of Captain Francis Wentworth. The Bedford Minutemen. The Acton Minutemen. The Carlisle Minutemen under the leadership of Captain Scott Evans. The Westford Colonial Minutemen. Coming up, the Stowe Minutemen. The Boxborough Minutemen. Sudbury Companies of Militia and Minutemen. Assabet Village Minutemen. The Glovers, Marblehead Regiment. Next, we have the Middlesex County 4-H Fife and Drum Corps. It is a youth corps that plays the music of the 18th century Revolutionary period. Their motto is remembering our history and playing it loudly. (182 Infantry). This is a regiment of the U.S. Army. is forming part of the Massachusetts National Guard and recognized as the oldest regiment in the Army, tracing back more than 230 years. And next, we have the Orchard House. Visitors and residents of Concord only recognize Orchard House as a home of the Little Women. But it is so much more. Their presence in this year's parade stands for just the importance of such celebrations of freedom and justice. Honor courageous trailblazing Concordians of the past and inspire those of the present and in the future to continue working for the greater good of society. Next, we have Hanscom Air Force Base. It is the only active duty Air Force base in all of New England and New York. Coming up is the Fenn School Marching Band. It's been participating since 1969, and I do believe we will be receiving a maneuver. Thank you, Penn School Band. Concord Scout House. Please give a warm welcome to our Scouts. The mission of our Concord Scout House has expanded over the years, fostering and assisting the Scout movement. We have over 100 Girl Scouts.
The Girl Scouts of Eastern Massachusetts are carrying the Concord Scout House banner today. And then we have Troop 132 of Concord carrying the Betsy Ross Grand Union and Star Spangled Banner American flags. The Isaac Davis Troop 1 of Acton, Mass. Is carrying the Virginia, Kentucky, and West Virginia flags, Also from Acton, Mass. is Troop 7012 carrying the Massachusetts and Maine flags. New Hampshire flag is carried by Troops 210 and 209 of Southampton, Mass. And the Maryland flag is being carried by Troop 1 of West Roxbury. Crew 357 is carrying the Connecticut flag, representing Woburn, Massachusetts, and all the way from Albuquerque, New Mexico is Troops 220 and 831 carrying the Rhode Island flag. Troop 57 of Boxford, Mass. is carrying the North Carolina and Tennessee flags, and then the South Carolina flag is being carried by Troop 507 of Winchester, Massachusetts. Troops 143 and 1792 of Pembroke, Mass. carry the Delaware flag, and then we have Troop 19 of Middleton, Mass. carrying the New York and Vermont flags. The New Jersey flag is carried by Troop 60 of Methuen, and the Pennsylvania flag is carried by Troop 701 of Wakefield, Mass. And finally, we have the Georgia flag being carried by Troop 132 of Concord again, and they are followed by our Cub Scouts, Pack 149, carrying an assortment of Liberty flags.
The Colonial Williamsburg Fife and Drums. The Colonial Williamsburg Fife and Drums were established in 1958 as part of the Colonial Williamsburg Foundation to educate the public about the 18th century military music during the American Revolution. They teach their youth performers about history, musicship, compassion, and leadership, so that they may effectively preserve the story of those who helped build our nation. Concord Museum connects people to Concord's multifaceted history and its continuing influence on American culture, political environment, and literary life. Coming up are the Stilt Walkers. Coming up are the Colonial Colonial Pipers Bagpipe Band. This is a youth-centered bagpipe band that was formed in 1972 to provide members with the opportunity to learn Celtic bagpiping and drumming. Next are the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers. Marching proudly today is the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers, New England District. Leading the formation is Colonel Justin Pabas, accompanied by Lieutenant Colonel David McPhail. The color guard is under the direction of Park Ranger Matt Coleman. Headquartered in Concord, the New England District manages civil works, flood risk management, and military programs across a 66,000 square mile region. The Corinthian Lodge. Corinthian Mason Lodge has been in Concord since it was chartered by Paul Revere in 1797. Today we are also joined by the Grand Lodge of Masons in Massachusetts. Concord Lions Club, with their motto of "We Serve," the Concord Lions were chartered in 1941 as a member of the Lions Club International, the world's largest service organization. Coming up is the 54th Mass Volunteer Infantry Regiment. This was formed in 1863. The regiment served in the American Civil War and was a major force in the pioneering of African American Civil War regiments. Their bravery inspired hundreds of thousands at a time. And now we have the U.S. Naval Academy Drum and Bugle Corps. Flashing swords, brass buttons, and drum rolls of a spring parade are just some of the many traditions that have marked 180 years at the United States Naval Academy in Annapolis. We are honored for their return visit today to participate in our parade, and I do believe they will be performing for us. Excellent. Thank you so much. Next, the Mill Dames, the Concord Mill Dames. The purpose of this local club is to work with various organizations in Concord and Carlisle that participate in community service and to offer social activities for members. The club was founded in 1967. Sudbury Ancient Fife and Drum Company. It was founded in 1964. The company plays music from the colonial period through contemporary compositions in transitional style. The New England Brigade, recognized as the premier Civil War reenacting organization in New England, currently totaling over 400 reenactors and historians representing the soldiers, sailors, and civilians of the Civil War era. They are dedicated to bringing the American Civil War to life so that the generations to come will know, remember, and respect those before us. Concord Across America is organized and led by Rob Morrison. Please welcome a cross-section of people from cities, towns, villages, and counties across the United States that share the name Concord. We are so pleased to have you with us all today on our historic day. And it's really nice to see the Concord Carlisle High School cheerleaders back, representing years of supporting the athletics and community, and to see the High School 250 Parade Ensemble. You're a cornerstone of this town, and our performing arts program are among the top. Minuteman Arc for Human Services. This supports more than 1,400 children and adults with disabilities in Concord. Founded in 1958 by parents of special needs children, Minuteman Arc has always worked to make sure that every member of our community is included, visible, and independent, a truly American mission. Okay, here is the Great American Marching Band, a military veteran organization consisting of professional musicians who served or still serve in musical capacity. Performing throughout New England, they have entertained crowds with patriotic music at numerous events and ceremonies. Concord Rotary Club. Having served the community for decades, this vibrant group of people actively seek to better the world through humanitarian service. They are local business owners and civic-minded citizens who work together to support our community and the people in need around the world. Concord Assembly number 53, International Order of the Rainbow for Girls. This group has met in Concord for 80 years. Membership age ranges in the age of 10 to 21. They teach leadership skills, arrange fun activities, and promote community service. Next, we have the welcoming community. They are dedicated to building a community where every resident, visitor, and worker, regardless of race, ethnicity, gender identity, ability, religion, or socioeconomic status, feels welcome, valued, and heard. Next, we have the West Point Hellcats. The West Point Bandsfield Music Group, the Hellcats, is comprised of bugles, piccolos, and drums, and serves as a showpiece for the United States Army and the United States Military Academy. Concord 250 Lantern. In recognition of the 250th anniversary of the American Revolution on April 19th, Art for All presents this commemorative lantern. The 8-foot-tall lantern symbolically honors the lanterns hung in the steeple of Boston's North Church on April 19th, 1775. That's signaled to Paul Revere the route of the British troops. Women's Veterans of Massachusetts. This group represents women who have served our nation. Deborah Sampson is a famous woman who disguised herself as a man so she could fight in the American Revolution and quite possibly in the area of Concord. She is an inspiration to the women of Massachusetts Veterans of Foreign Affairs, Wars, whose membership requires the member to be a combat veteran. Someone who has seen and been in combat, just like their local heroine, Deborah Sampson. Thank you all for your service to the country. You have the Massachusetts Veterans of Foreign Wars. This is made up of thousands of combat veterans of all branches of the U.S. military. Many of those thousands served as National Guard members or reservists, the exact embodiment of the citizen soldier and the roots of the events of 1775 in Concord. We extend our gratitude for their service. Okay, the Roma Band musicians continue a long-standing tradition of providing crowd-pleasing Italian, patriotic, popular, and sacred melodies since the band's inception in 1919 in the North End of Boston. Next, we have the West Concord Green Thumbs, a fundamental part of West Concord Village and the beautification efforts that have transformed this area for more than 10 years. There are 75 members who, week after week, toil across multiple garden plots to make our village idyllic, lively, and dynamic. Concord Agricultural Committee. Farming. They've been farming since 1775, and they were ready to join the militia with a Concord thing with minute's notice, which is depicted by the Minuteman standing on his plow. The committee was formed to advise the town on best practices in support of our local farms. Okay, at this point, we are going to introduce the University of Massachusetts Minuteman Marching Band. This is their first appearance in Concord. Please give a warm welcome to this parade, hoping that they'll be back again. Absolutely fantastic. Thank you so much, and we hope to see you again next year. concludes the official Concord 250 parade. We want to thank everyone who has participated. We now begin the transition to the Concord 250 block party. First, we welcome State Representative and Concord native Simon Caldo, and he will offer a few words. We'll following that with Army veteran Alan Schwartz, who will perform the national anthem. And finally, former select board member and retired town crier Stephen Ning will deliver the proclamation to officially open the block party. We hope that you will all enjoy all the various things that are going on in town today in every area. And we thank you again, and please welcome Reverend.
Should I go ahead? Should I go? We're all set? All right. All right, everybody, I have some important announcements. We're moving from commemoration to celebration, and you're going to want to know what's going on here. Who's ready for a block party? You guys ready for a block party? All right. I'm going to get to the details real quick, but I just wanted to do a few thank yous. Could we have a round of applause for the Concord 250 committee? All of the volunteers just completely met the moment. Thank you so much. How about a round of applause for the people who gave us the greatest gift we could possibly have today, which is to keep us safe? The Concord Police Department, the Fire Department, the DPW, the Massachusetts State Police, a class act today, the Massachusetts Emergency Management Agency, and the many different police departments in this area who you've seen their uniforms who have come to Concord today to keep us safe. Could we have a round of applause? Nobody ever does this, but we should do it today. For the Concord taxpayers who paid for this. Yeah, thank you. To our leaders, our elected leaders in Concord, the select board, our civic leaders, the Concord staff, and volunteers. How about a round of applause for them as well? So as I said, we're transitioning, and there is an unbelievable block party set up. I would just invite you to go all around here. You can drink beer in the Wright Tavern like they did in October 1774, where they hatched plans to raise a militia. You can visit our shops. We have local food set up everywhere. If you're not sure where to go, there are maps and town criers all over the place who will tell you where to be, what's going on. So that's going to go all the way until 7:30. But you do not want to leave Concord at 7:30. At 7:30, you want to make your way to Concord Carlisle High School, where a drone show in the theme of Concord 250 and all that it represents is going to light up the sky. I've been told 300 drones. 300 drones. There's going to be music at the high school that accompanies the drones. You are not going to want to miss this. So make your way at 7:30 to the drone show at the high school. That will start at 8:15. All right. Who did I forget to thank? I think we're good. Are we good? Someone said Jesus. You can definitely do that. We have America, so we get to pray to whoever. So in a moment, we're going to hear the national anthem by Army veteran Alan Schwartz, followed by the proclamation to officially kick off our block party by former selectman and town crier Stephen N. So, is Mr. Schwartz here with us? All right. Thank you for your service.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hail by the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight. Oh, the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave? Oh, the land of the free and the home of the brave, the brave, the brave. Thank you.
I have an announcement from the Concord 250 Committee. And helping me with that is former town manager, Chris Whalen. In the spirit of the town of Concord's motto, Quam firma res concordia, which is translated to how strong is harmony, I invite all of you to join me in sharing this proclamation by repeating after my statement. So, whereas the town of Concord has stood as a beacon of independence, culture, and community since its founding in 1635, whereas the town, April 19th, 2025, marks the 250th anniversary of the historic battles of Concord and Lexington. And whereas the Concord 250 Committee has provided us a day of events to commemorate, reflect, and celebrate the American spirit dedicated to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Now, therefore, we, the town of Concord, hereby declare the Concord 250 Block Party officially underway.
Wasn't that fantastic? I hope you enjoyed today's parade and ceremonies as much as I enjoyed chatting with you about it. I want to thank everybody who's responsible for Minuteman Media's live stream today. I first want to thank all of our camera operators, Charlie, Elliot, Gerald, Tori Arcadi, and Craig. I want to thank Matt, who's been directing this live stream. He's in the booth. I also want to thank Jimmy and Chaz from Thistle Communications and the rest of their crew. I want to thank Sam and Bill, who were riding along on the golf cart all day with the camera there. So I hope you enjoyed it. We had a great time today. Remember, you're watching Minuteman Media Network, and we are the community TV station for the towns of Concord and Carlisle. And I am Julie Manugian. Come back around 1. We're going to have some more live interviews, and then come back at 8:15 when we do our drone show. But now I'm going to sign out, and I'm going to go enjoy some of the Concord food, the local establishments, and I think I'm going to go check out the beer garden at Wright Tavern. Bye-bye. We're back. As promised, we have some live interviews. I'm now going to hand the mic over to Gerald Tenenbaum, who's a Concord Carlisle High School student. Take it away, Gerald.
Hello, everybody. We're fortunate enough to have the one and only Representative Simon Cataldo here with us today.
Gerald, thank you. Do you want to hold this or do I hold this? You tell me how this works.
We can share it.
All right.
Just in the middle.
Well, Gerald, thank you so much. This has been such a great day. For those who were able to see the governor's speech and Congresswoman Trahan's speech, it was wonderful at the North Bridge. Everything has been so on point, so well organized, so many smiling faces in Concord today. This is a great parade every year, but I do think that the community and folks from around the country, you know, they appreciate how important a day that this is this particular year of the 250th. And I'm excited. We're only at the beginning. It's noon right now. We've got 7, 8, 9 hours left of a party. It's going to be great. I can't wait to see how the rest of the day unfolds.
Is there any part you're looking forward to most?
The drone show is supposed to be amazing. The way that it's been described, I can't even believe it until I see it. So I'm really excited to do that. I don't personally drink, but I am going to go over to the Wright Tavern where they're having some beer, and you know that's a special things to do. That place holds a really important part of our history, of our revolutionary history. So that's exciting too.
It seems exciting.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not gonna be able to go there for a little while longer. I still got a few more years, but it's really cool to see because we'll switch off. It was really cool to see because like I saw the other people speaking, and then when you started speaking, like your speech seemed to really resonate with everyone around, and that was just cool to see the impact you have just on the people of Concord. Does that make you feel a certain way?
Well, it's easier when you know the folks here,
yeah.
So it's just easier to connect. And I actually had a whole speech that I had written out, and it was about kind of historical stuff and First Provincial Congress and all that from First Parish Church. But I saw that people were so eager at the end of the parade, and they were all hyped up from the UMass band, which is amazing, the marching band. And I just thought, let's just get through the thank yous and get to the party. So that's how we did it this time.
Yeah, but it wasn't your first speech. I think this was your second speech of the day, right? Your second talk.
First one of today. This was, yeah. Yes.
I take that. I never said that. That's between us.
That's okay.
No, but I want to thank you again for coming on, and
Gerald.
I'll see you again later.
All right, I'll see you soon. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Hello, everybody. I'm here with Joe Palumbo, the one and only on the 250th anniversary of Concord, the Battle of Concord and Lexington. You're the head of events for the Concord 250th.
Yeah,
I hear you've been doing it for about 2-3 years now.
That's right.
What's the process been like?
Well, it's been really good because we've had help and collaboration from so many people on the committee, all ages, from people who were here in 1975 to people in high school, and that's what's made the collaboration of ideas really strong, I think.
Yeah, I know you have 2 students with you today who will interview later.
Yeah.
But what has it been like having them? Have you had them with you the whole day? What have they been doing?
Yeah, both Grady and Lincoln started the morning really early with the VIP room, making sure that some of those VIP guests get to their right spot in the parade, and they marched in the parade, which I think was really cool for them to hear the positive reaction as they walked through the town, people applauding, and often shouting their name, right? So it was really great. And because I'm hoping this is a really good memory for them of this day and what it meant.
I think, personally, any engagement we can have with like the student base here in Concord. I think it's just better for like the next generation. I do a show on it, which isn't important, but I think
absolutely
it's important to have like the younger kids seeing how everything works and just like being able to engage and like feel invested in what we're doing.
Yeah, and it also helped with kind of the idea generation.
Yeah.
Because the idea generation from someone who's 18 is going to be important and different than we're going to hear from anybody else.
Yeah, for sure. So you've been doing these events for a while. What one are you looking forward to most? Has it happened already? Just what were you looking forward to most today?
Well, I was really looking forward to how well the parade went and the bridge ceremony, because that's always an important moment, hearing the governor speak and her words really strong. But for the events committee, the drone show is the thing, and we're really walking and making sure it goes well tonight, because it's a new thing for Concord.
It hopefully goes well. It could go. I saw the Lexington one.
Yeah, how was that?
Well, I didn't see it in person. They have a video
Yeah.
online. I was looking because I heard they're the same company. I don't know if that's true or not, but
no, it's not.
It could be cool. Like seeing what Lexington did with the because it's practically the same thing. I'm assuming it's going to be like. It looks like it's going to go really well. I'm looking forward to it. Is there anything you want to add?
Yeah, just that we tried to the drone show tonight. We tried to pick songs that appeal to all ages, and the images are very Concord specific. So they're not generic. They're very like Concord moments.
I'm excited to see it. What did you feel about like the turnout today? Like you happy with it?
Yeah, it feels like it wasn't overwhelming. It was manageable. We clearly had the event security. I think a lot of people had in their mind like, oh, 1975. Well, it's 2025 and it's a different world. There's more than 3 networks. There's a lot of things to do.
Yeah.
So I think having been at 75 and been at this one, this was a much more manageable kind of hometown feel to it. That's what I wanted.
I wasn't at that one, but I'm gonna go with what he said.
Yeah.
And we'll head over to those 2 students right now. We're back right after the Joe Palumbo interview. I'm here with Lincoln Green, Felicity Zhang, and Grady Flynn. That you've been following Joe today, and I've heard you guys have been on the committee for give or take 2 years, right?
Yeah.
Helping out.
Yeah.
How has that been?
It's been quite an amazing experience. Also, especially as students to get involved. It's quite rare when you have something on such a large scale to be involved as such young people. But at the same time, I think it's really important because young people have or should have a say in these kinds of proceedings. It's a really major event, and I think it's something that all of us will remember for the rest of our lives.
Felicity, Lincoln, is there any like individual or specific experiences you've had that you want to talk about?
Well, I first started doing 250 stuff in my sophomore year as well. So at that point, it was really, we were just handing out like the buttons, the pins at town meeting. And I think at that point, it definitely like everything felt so far away. And we were all like, why are we doing this early? But now that it's actually like here and we're in the moment and there's so many people here, it's really kind of amazing to see how all of that work really over years is like coming together in this one moment.
Yeah, it's definitely been like a really wonderful experience today, seeing all the people and like things that we've been talking about for like a couple of years like are actually happening. It was a really surreal experience. It's been really cool.
So now that we're here, you guys have been saying some real experience and stuff like that. Now that it's the day of, like, is anything hitting you? Like, has it kicked in yet? That like you're done? Like,
there
what is it?
was totally a moment of like maybe like a week and a half ago, I'd say, where you just had been thinking about all this stuff as being on the horizon, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh wait, that's less than 10 days from now, and to finally see the things that we were talking about 6 months ago when we were thinking about like the little minutia of like how are people going to get in through this entrance and where's the like how many trains are going to run through, like that kind of stuff, where it felt so small at the time, and then like driving in and seeing the trains, just like having this moment of how everything just kind of came to fruition was really cool and all just hit me in a way that I didn't expect.
So Felicity, what are some major things you did today? Like,
so far I actually have more things that are happening in the afternoon.
Yeah.
So I actually just got here pretty recently, but in the afternoon I'm going to be at the block party for I know there's the One Day Choir by Kento Davies, which is obviously, it's really amazing. That's something that's really garnered a lot of national attention, and even on social media, definitely that's going to be something that we're able to use as a way to garner, to grow our sense of community here at this event, and I'm super excited for that. And then really just kind of hanging out, and we made some additional buttons for Concord 250. So being able to like hand those out and kind of share this collective spirit of and collective like community pride, I think is going to be a lot of fun. So I'm looking forward to that.
And Lincoln, last but not least, what like how are you feeling? Like,
I don't know, this day is like, it's kind of flown by, but also going by really slowly at the same time. Like, it's been really surreal, like, just like waking up early in the morning on a weekend, and we kind of helping set up the parade, get everything ready, and then actually marching in the parade. So like getting to see the governor speak up close, that was a really cool experience. And the whole thing's just like, it's a day I'm definitely gonna remember for a while.
and I think that's what's great about having students do stuff like this. They remember it and then they bring it into their life future on, right? And that's a wrap.